Hello, hello. Ooh, we got some loud music. Sorry about that. This is the Kingdom, the Crypto Kingdom. You are listening to London. We are here live. We want to bring you this update, this urgent update. This is a live stream. Let me make sure the music is okay. I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. It's Friday night, okay? And it's almost midnight. We had to come to you soon. Before the bad news, let's get into something that's kind of stable. A few of the coins are up today. Our specialty here is Harmony One. Harmony One is currently, what is that? Before we get into Dogecoin, it's down about 25%, guys. We'll be on that for a second. Let's see, Harmony One, but what is that? 7%. It is up, in spite of everything. It's up today. Now we have to bring this because we have a lot of, let's say, loyal Dogecoin. Those two words are relatively synonymous. Loyal Dogecoin. It's exactly what it sounds like, guys. The very loyal crew. Dogecoin has got a great community that is very solid. It sticks together, and we're probably in a position where, let's see what we have. We're in a position where a lot of you may have invested after the fact. Some of you may have been holding for a while, and it looks like there's kind of a let's just say things are just kind of falling apart. I'll explain exactly what's going on in the charts. Some of you are new to the channel, and we want to welcome you. Some of you are returning loyal subscribers, and we want to thank you for everything that you do and everything that you mean to us being here. It means a lot, particularly during moments like these. I know it's not easy for you, and a lot of people are panicked. I think you're down probably 24% now. Many of you probably have weathered different storms throughout your the time you've been trading crypto or been in the investment field. So you probably know how to. I'd hope to say that you know how to protect yourself and your portfolio. We tried to discuss quite a bit of that the other night, and any of you that listened to our talk the other night, we were talking about what happens if it occurs that there is no floor. And let me kind of move all of these over to the side. Let's take a look at the price action of Dogecoin. And it received a phenomenal spike, and I won't say that it's completely done right now in terms of its overall pricing action, or done, let's say, just with its downward trajectory. I want you to understand what's going on with its downward trajectory, why it is behaving this way. And it's a massive move to the downside. Let's just measure this real quickly. Now, we executed a few trades here on the channel, which were nice. We were able to move in right about this level and achieve about a 75% return. I want to say on about 71% return on an AM trade, and then on a PM trade, I believe we achieved about a 20% return. So yeah, right about a 20% return on essentially there was a bull pennant and then a triangulated formation that we were able to trade. Limited our exposure without a doubt. If you got in anywhere near the top right now, you are down about 43%, okay? Now those are real numbers, and as you look at that, anyone who got in along at this kind of super hype moment at the top, do understand that that's a real thing, and you guys need to take care of the people who got involved. I'm very big in the Harmony One community. We have one of the leading stations with Harmony One. Anyone who needs to kind of talk to somebody, I'll just tell you guys, we are here. Okay, we have a great community in Discord, chat service. We're just around. We're good guys, and I know a lot of you Dogecoin guys are good guys too. So if this rebounds, phenomenal. If you guys get back up in the starry lights and with the with the next moonshot, that's fantastic. If things kind of fall down, as they appear to be doing, just understand that you guys have got friends here. Okay, we've both been through a lot in terms of kind of a shared history. That you guys were affected, I think, by Robinhood back in the past, the Dogecoin guys, and yeah, it seems like Harmony One was affected by Binance a little bit. So those are both kind of a shared thing that we have in common, and there's no reason why we can't kind of support each other. It's two really great, at least really strong communities. The one thing I'll kind of bring up, which could act to the benefit, is that the RSI is kind of low right now. We'd want to look at it probably on a 1 hour time frame. You guys understand what we do here is we focus a lot, and it's not as bad on the 1 hour as it could be. Let's go back to the kind of the micro approach here. Now, You know the type of work that we do here. We went over in depth, and I'm just going to move these over to the side. They all fit in somewhere. I can place those back in a moment. But we had gone through the Fibonacci's. We had gone through scaling in while this incredible pricing action was occurring. This is a phenomenal looking event. You guys know that it just was not stopping. Dogecoin decided to take off to the upside, I think in excess of 400%. So people made a tremendous amount of money during this time period. It ran into a little bit of a problem, and the problem that it ran into was in the form of a head and shoulders. And that head and shoulders formed in and around this area. Let's take a look at it. Began forming, and I'll tell you guys, we entered into a trade, two trades, one in and around this area, executed it for about 70%, okay? That was a phenomenal trade, very predictable. It was a bull pennant. It just made sense for us to enter into that trade. There was a secondary trade, this secondary triangulated trade here, okay? We entered in and around here, and we even called it. You guys who were listening to this morning or last night, if you'll recall, we said 3 o'clock. We did. As a matter of fact, we said 3 o'clock. I don't know if you guys recall that. That was our time. Now, this right here, the crosshair right here is 3 o'clock. That was exactly the point in time when there was a breakout from this triangulation. Now, this triangulation was essentially right here. I can draw that real quickly so that you understand where that was. It will set you up or set up the discussion. Let me say the discussion so that we understand exactly kind of what went on today. Because we had, and this was just, this is the type of information that we bring to you from the channel, okay? Extremely accurate, timely information in order to maximize your gains. And I'll say protect your portfolios as well. That's kind of, one of our primary goals is to eliminate that risk. We don't want you getting caught with a, just an untoward position or something that's not good. Now, the bull pennant below, we can go through exactly what we traded. This was the first trade, and this is all technical analysis, okay? This was the bull pennant that we traded. Very clear exit, and it was right after the show that we did. As soon as it exited, we got in immediately upon the breach of it. You can just watch that on the the 5-minute chart, and just as soon as it wants to go up, we're in the trade. We're gonna ride that, and we wrote it up for what was it, about 70%. The next let's say triangulation that we got into, and these are just forms of technical analysis. Okay, they give us a description or at least some sort of pattern of behavior. So we did enter right in here, and the uncanny thing is, it's not uncanny for our show. I want you guys to know we're extraordinarily accurate, okay, extremely accurate. We had given you a timing target of, I said 1500, that was 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. At 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, exactly at this moment, and I'll mark that with a vertical line if I can get that together. Yeah, exactly at 3 o'clock. Down to the minute, guys. It was literally within. Let me go ahead and mute this here. Let me mute this there. Won't make any more noise. There we go. And yeah, exactly within literally a number of minutes. And you guys can do the research. Listen back through the original video that we came to you with, and you'll hear 3 o'clock. That was exactly the time that we had stated, and exactly at 3 o'clock. We broke out of this triangle pattern, this triangulation. Now, we could have had a much better upside, and that was kind of that was the beginning of the warning, okay? As we looked at this triangulation, I'll say, it started to dip a little bit deeply, so we knew there was kind of an issue with where it was headed. I'll say that because there wasn't a whole lot of area. If we were going to essentially play the breakout, ideally, I'll say ideally, we were hoping, and I say hoping. Now, take a good look at the top of this real quickly. Let me kind of zoom in. If you guys can take a look in and around this area, let's see. It's about 52 cents. So on the best day, if things were to cooperate without this kind of huge gulch down in the bottom here, there was a big heavy correction in and around here. We would have really liked to have seen some more sideways or lateral consolidation, which we did not pick up here. So, and this is a good story, you guys, in terms of learning kind of the dynamics. Typically, for any stock or anything you want to trade, that's my background, financial analyst, hedge fund, etc. That's it without the resume. I'll just give you the basics. But Typically, we'll take the flagpole, we'll put it up to the point of the breakout. Very simple. The professional word is the flagpole. That's what we'll take and put it up at the top. We will run into about a 52-cent mark. So that looked nice. That looked like, well, if people want to cooperate and if the market wants to cooperate, we had the timing perfectly. So people who were looking around that time and you saw the charts at that time, you saw it if you had any kind of technical know-how or prowess. You knew that that was about the time. You saw it break over the line. Now you got involved or you didn't get involved. If you did get involved, the good news about the tapes that we have, at least the streams that we've done, you guys were abundantly aware of the fact that in all of the streams, etc., that I was extraordinarily clear, like extraordinarily clear, that in the overall, in all of this, we were extremely, extremely lightly involved. And you all know that that was something that we pushed very, very heavily, was during this time, make sure that you're extremely lightly involved. Now, it may turn around and do great things the rest of the night. It may turn around and just be phenomenal. For people who got involved here and decided to liquidate in and around here, and I'll say who got involved anywhere around the 40 cent mark and had to liquidate around the 20, who were forced to liquidate around the 26 mark, you're looking at just a drastic loss. And, that's difficult, okay? It's difficult. And yes, I'll tell you, it starts to say, well, everyone's responsible for their own losses. Everyone's responsible for, okay, everyone needs to make a decision on themselves and how they want to present their own, their own lessons in life. But we like to be a stronger community than that. Just we're all involved in the crypto space, and we like to support each other. So we want to kind of be friendly with each other, and kind of that's one of the goals of this stream, is to support the new investor, also to support the sophisticated investor. And the different communities have a different flavor and feel. Particularly Dogecoin is very different. Harmony One is very different. All of these specialty coins carry with them something kind of special. So we appreciate all those dynamics, and we don't want anyone to feel trapped in their investment. Whether or not you've listened to this specific stream, it may have helped in preventing you from becoming trapped in this investment, at least for a moment here. Now, it has shown tremendous ability to turn around. What it's run into here is, and we had the direct, distinct feeling when it experienced this right here, this retracement right here was crucial, because it took off just as it needed to in and around here. We entered right in this area. I mean, right along the exit here. It was very well timed, very detailed. For you guys that want to day trade, understand that you're literally looking at the screen as it's flying up and over the resistance and watching the reconfirmation and it take off. Now, it began to accelerate and then it started to die down. And I thought maybe it's just going to hang for a moment, and then it started to do this, and it was relatively clear in and along. I thought maybe we'd achieve a stronger trajectory after that initial dip, that maybe we would head on up, and it just didn't have the momentum. So it gave us kind of a false pattern here, which was okay. That's to be expected. There's a lot of volume, a lot of people taking profits, and the exchanges were stressed. From what I understand, Binance had some problems this last week with volume, and some different exchanges have just generally been taxed in terms of the workload. So that's okay. It may be a circumstance where it's part technological. The technological components are partially to blame. Let's say that. So as we saw this up and through this area, it became evident that, yeah, we have some issues. This was about a 20% profit from this area, okay? So that was okay after the 70% gain, and the 20% profit. Now, again, lightly involved in terms of our involvement at this on this level. Anything that's in kind of, I said, a bull stampede or a bull run, has been designated here as going to be extremely lightly involved. Just pepper in at the tops. And we had different zones in terms of acquisition and getting a better price along the way. We worked with the Fibonacci's. You guys know that we are big on Fibonacci's. We love our Fibonacci retracements. So we will get into some pricing action, for instance. And, if we want to accumulate after there has been a great, in terms of working on strategy, you guys, I really hope that you're able to put together a strategy that protects you guys in the market. We want to see everyone doing well. We accumulate more as these tiers go down, okay? The different tiered levels as they go down, we accumulate more, okay? We double down every single time. Now, that's an amount of money which say, well, it sounds like you're dealing lightly in it. Well, we are. Depending upon your overall level of investment, if you have, we may have $10,000 involved at this level, guys. And if we have 10,000, I'll just tell you in a hypothetical scenario, with 10,000 involved at the top, or you may have 10,000, let's say that, at the bottom portion, at the lower levels, we are ready or prepared to double down, to the extent of, or tune of potentially $1 million, okay? In a dried up market, when there's great deals to be had, we have a lot more money to be looking at acquiring. That's the way that the markets function. In the meantime, we enjoy trading quite a bit. So after we broke out of this second kind of triangulation, I want to bring you into, and I stress that, again, we talked about this so frequently the other night. Okay, I hope you guys were tuned in then, and there's some critical news now, but I hope you tuned in then because we discussed the fact that at these higher levels, we wanted to be engaged in it very lightly, okay? Not a heavy amount of capital at all. And it's just because the volatility is so great. And some of you may have the stomach for it, some of you may not. Some of you may not have that psyche, the ability to tolerate that. It's a lot of pressure on you to watch money disappear. 40% of it, if you got in around this area, if you put in 10,000, you may have gone down to 6,000. You may have with the exchange fees. I'm not sure where you wound up. That can be difficult, okay? And some of you were just trying to play this upward trend. So I understand that, and you may not have been able to foresee exactly the point in time when this would make sense here to capitalize on the 20%. And around here, it becomes a little difficult, and you start dealing with your schedule, dealing with just life as life throws life at you. So it's not always easy. We understand that. That's why a technique and an approach is good. So we walked in, let's see, out of the triangulation phase, we would walk into, of course, kind of an underperforming, and I told someone earlier, I was like, the market maker may have just been in the mood. The exchanges just wanted to walk this back. Maybe they felt like the overall broader index, the crypto index, kind of needed to be saved because Bitcoin was, I'd say having some degree of problem. The rest of the fields were having a major degree of problem, and Dogecoin was just sucking up all the money. It was taking all the money in the market, and that's a unfancy way of saying literally it had, I believe, the potential to cripple the market. So, and I'll tell you, if it's that big of an event, if it's that big of a real phenomenon, then people need to look at that. And maybe I don't want to speculate. Let me say that, but that it caused some degree of instability. I think that was clear. Everyone wanted Dogecoin. I will say that some of the other concerns held very well, like our favorite Harmony One, that held extremely well, and it's up today. So kind of a cyclical pattern for Harmony One. A lot of stability. We're happy about that. We just like trading Harmony One. It's a great coin and a great crowd. So you guys join us in the Discord or wherever else you'd like to. Subscribing with notifications, that would help. Let's see. In terms of this exiting this triangulated pattern, and you guys see the formation of this pattern was very difficult to trade. We decided to enter into it, but lightly, okay, just lightly, and to play this out and see kind of how it wanted to behave. There was a lot of bullish sentiment as we got into a lower kind of high, a lower interim high here. That kind of rings some alarm bells. And typically, if you have a higher high and a higher low, that's kind of the price action that you can expect to step on up into different levels. Now, we did achieve, what was it, about a 44 cents, which was great for Dogecoin. That's a huge improvement in comparison to where it has been. That's phenomenal. And the crowd, the community, has been waiting a long time, so that's very well deserved. As we get into these different steps that we're kind of walking up, we have a higher high, okay, right here, higher high, and we have a higher low, right? This is kind of the low in here, and then we have a higher low right in this area. So we got into, well, then we have a lower high. This would represent a lower high, and now we're making a lower low. So this is bringing in a bearish sentiment. Can it correct? It can. It absolutely can. And all this can just be kind of seen maybe as a retracement. If you want to, this can be seen as a retracement from this high. That's not real clean in terms of the descriptives of it. I don't think that would measure out if we were to talk about this just being a normal retracement. It is a breakdown, and it has to deal with this head and shoulders right here. The head and shoulders, which you guys have a tool in TraderView. If you guys would like to use that, it's a nice tool to show you exactly and it's hard to see these light green labels. This is right shoulder, the head and the left shoulder. And it's a nice tool because it'll allow you at any point in time to move that over and to kind of get a look of, yes, those are the shoulders and there's the head area. Okay, so we'll just put that back over here. Now we know with the head and shoulders, typically the breakdown, and this worked out very well. We had this published, we got in on this pattern early and were able to detect it and prevent any loss. We were, like I said, in terms of our position earlier on, we recognized this around the 20% area that there was a problem. So in terms of it not having the velocity or momentum to go to the upside to the tune of, we were expecting maybe 50 to 70%. Again, would have been nice. So it didn't want to do that. As we measure the head and shoulders, we look at the head area down to what we call the neck. Take the shoulders and along with this area from side to side. That's the neck area. That's the distance that when this breaks down, and now this is it's a bearish pattern, okay, a very bearish pattern. So when this occurs, what we like to do is we like to bring down essentially the height of the area from the head, the vertical area from the head down to this neckline. Let's just say the neckline. When it breaks that neckline, okay, we are in for a travel. Now it needs to go ahead and break that. And I say the literature is a little bit off this and that in terms of exactly where you want to place this downward momentum. Is it at the end of the shoulders? If it is, where do the shoulders end? And that becomes kind of a question. Where do the shoulders actually end? So we normally like to place it just right in here, okay, right in around, kind of in line with the neckline, to tell you the truth. So this is really kind of outperformed, and you guys understand that if we're basing it on the shoulders, essentially it's going to be, well, where does the shoulder end? The shoulder's going to keep going, so you guys can make sense of that. It typically goes right here along the neckline. So, but this is kind of an exaggerated bearish pattern here, or an exaggerated effect after what's typically a very bearish move, guys. It's a very whenever you see a head and shoulders, it's just very bearish. So this would be what we would expect to normally see in and around here, and we literally saw in and around this level. So this was just kind of indicative. Now it does look like it's recovering. If this turns into just a divot for the day, it will be impressive. This is nothing I would want to trade at all. I would not want to be involved in trading this at all. I think it's very, very extremely dangerous in terms of the risk that it presents to you right now. When you see this falling off and it's a head and shoulders and it's outperforming the head and shoulders, it's showing a tremendous amount of downward pressure. Someone may be buying this up. Currently it says it's off 18%. Okay, if it's off 18%, that is what that is. But looking at the difference between, let's say, I'll measure from here to here, that is, that's 36%, okay, to the bottom there, in terms of from the top of the head to the bottom area. That's 36% from the high that was achieved. From the high, it got down 41%, and let's see, currently right now about 33% it's off. So those are real losses, and just look at the fact that it did dip down that low is just kind of that's a wild moment. So we did want to come live to you, and we did want to kind of just be here and remind you at these levels, guys, just be lightly involved if you can. Please be lightly involved in terms of your capital exposure at these levels. Some of you may be holding large bags of Dogecoin. Even the ones involved in other coins, whether it be Ether or whether it be Bitcoin or Harmony One, you guys, know that a lot of you have some heavy holdings in Dogecoin. So if you're just diamond hands the whole time, you've probably been through some roller coaster rides recently, and maybe you can tolerate that. For those of you who have not been through that, or if you guys know of people in the community, I would really suggest that you reach out to them, and part of the community needs to be kind of a support for that, because not everyone is a sophisticated investor, particularly with like something that is kind of more of a like a fun coin, like a meme coin or something like that. So you can have a great impact on those people, and don't be harsh. If I can recommend one thing, try not to be harsh with people, and you should have known, or this and that. The community will always remember, and the people who lost money at all today, even if they sold out, they'll always remember how you treated them. And it doesn't cost you anything at all, especially if you've made money already. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice to those individuals. So I would recommend that you guys do that, and try and do only good every day, as you guys as is your motto. Try and get that accomplished. So it does look like you're rebounding here. That's a good sign. The notion that it would get back involved in some sort of a trading activity, etc., would be interesting for us. If it wants to recreate something positive, that might be nice. We can try and see exactly what it bounced off of. If you guys are interested in that, I can try and pull up a Fibonacci and see what levels it decided to bounce off of, and particularly, I guess we could get into the notion of whether or not people might want to trade this on the way down. And let's go ahead and just delete some of these. I need to delete some of these lines. Let's get them out of the way. We were doing some triangulation work earlier on for our earlier trades, which produced phenomenal gains. If you guys are interested in pricing targets and breakout patterns, things of that nature, we typically, it's hard to argue with, the pricing action was such that you needed a good entry price. You needed a good strategy to define, let's say, the bull pennant that we were able to trade this first bull pennant here. And you needed, an entry point where it made sense to trade, and then you needed some sort of an exit point. So that's the type of information that we are, very sophisticatedly, I'd say, at least we're somewhat, let's say we're somewhat fluent in. So we try and, like speaking another language, we try and remain fluent in that. So let's see what we got here. Let's see if we can put together, and I think we had done this already. Let's go ahead and pull these over as well. We'll get rid of these triangulation lines. And again, that's just showing, that's just us. We can pull the head and shoulders over. That's the triangulation lines just give order when there's kind of some what do you call it, seeming degree of chaos or some inexplicable levels of pricing activity. When you can't read it, it's kind of like putting the grid lines on a map. If you're out and say you're out and you're trying to navigate through a forest or something, it's kind of nice to have a topographical representation. It'll kind of show you where the different changes are in elevation. Also, you may want grid lines to be able to navigate around where you're going in the wilderness, etc. So this is the kind of information that we start to lay over a chart to begin to understand it. And that allows us to to get where we need to go, to use the map analogy. So that's why we use these different tools, is to kind of make sure we know where we're going. And when we make sure we know where we're going, typically we can get to our destination. And our destination is profit. So and along with some other things that are dealt with in the market. So let's get to this now. You guys know, okay, my standard for a Fibonacci, okay, is drawing to the top line, okay, and I believe this is a standard of the industry. Drawing to the top line, okay, in your tool, you just choose your Fibonacci. The Fibonacci retracement, it's called, is underneath, okay, this area with the pitchforks. Go down and select Fib retracement, real easy, FIB retracement. We want to see the levels of retracement that exist in this trend line. We'll start at the base of the trend, click on the base of the trend once you've selected Fib retracement. Bam, click on the base. Then you're going to make a second click right on the top, okay, of the price action. That's going to give you the trend. Now you can pull it over because the only thing that's going to change is the width, okay, from the side to side. That's the only thing that's going to change. The figures in here on the left, they're not going to change as you pull this over and kind of just highlight up your whole screen. That just gives you more room to work with. It's kind of you expanding the background. So, and as you look at this on the bottom, I want you guys to focus in terms of drawing your fibs. I always encourage you, wherever your trend line starts, okay, needs to be an area wherein you can look to the left, okay, you can look to the left and you see the dotted line here. The dotted line is cutting right across the top of the previous price action, okay? That is where you want to start your trend line. You can bring that into here if you choose. It doesn't matter exactly where. Put it on the blue line and make sure that you have this dotted line on top of, and not including or down into, okay, not including and down into the previous price action, the previous peak here, okay? It's very important in terms of you defining the trend. It will give you the proper Fibonacci retracement levels. So as we look at this, I want you guys to just understand that this is giving us our Fibonacci exactly, guys, exactly what's going on in your Fibonacci's, or exactly what's going on with your retracements. We have two strong contact points here. And this is going to be a phenomenal lesson for you guys. I'm glad that we can bring it to you, and you guys can see how we kind of make order of the events. Okay, we make order of the events, and we're able to place pricing targets. Okay, now we did not place this target in terms of the free-for-all. We did not know exactly where things would go. So, there's a possibility that it may not have gotten picked up along this level. This is what's called the golden pocket right here. So those of you who want to learn the golden pocket, what is the golden pocket? You're going to hear people talk about that. I have no idea what that is, right? The golden pocket is a ratio. All of these different colored levels are ratios. They're percentages, okay? The first, if you get into this, the first is going to be, a 20 some odd ratio. Okay? The second about a 30 some odd ratio. Was it 38? The next one's about 50%. The next one's 61 point something. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into the math. The next one's 78. All it is well, this one that's 50. That means from the distance that it's traveled up, from the base to the top. And guys, this is very relevant to your holdings in Dogecoin and every other thing that you invest in. Okay, from the base to the top of the price action, we drew this fib retracement. We have drug it across here. We want this in the background to let us analyze, and you guys are seeing exactly what has occurred. This is crucial. What do you have right here, right in the middle of your screen? Okay, you have a contact point, okay, right on the Fibonacci retracement, like exactly on the Fibonacci retracement, all right? That is at the 50% retracement. So it retraced 50% of the value that it had already traveled, okay, from the low to the high, okay? But this is what's important about Fibonacci. It will give you the entry points for some trades. Just as a matter of fact, okay, it's going to give you different entry points. So when I give you pricing targets on this channel, I'll give you pricing targets based on Fibonacci's. Now you need to be able to draw your Fibonacci's correctly. Otherwise your pricing targets are going to be off. Every time they're going to be off if you don't draw them correctly. If you're in the wrong time zone, okay, or you're in, let's say, not the wrong time zone, I mean that, but if you're in let's say the 5 minute versus the 1 hour versus the 4 day, or whatever you get into that's off, skewed one direction or the other, your fibs won't work. You'll have to redraw them when you change between the 4 hour, let's say, and the 1 hour. You need to be kind of accustomed to that. If you're using candlesticks, you need to know when to use the candlesticks versus when to use the line chart. Okay, my group knows we use the line chart. Okay, now this is critical because anyone who wanted to trade any of this action probably got in, I'd say, in and around here potentially, and around here potentially again, and they got picked up at both levels. Okay, and you say, well, what's the big deal there? Well, let's look. If we had just done a fib trading, and that's a lot of what we do in this channel. Okay, we do a lot of trading on fib price targets. Okay, now as we look at this, that right there is a 27% gain, okay? So you're looking at a 27% gain just on hitting one fib on a retracement, okay? We standardly, we look at having some money, available at this level, okay? More or double down available at this level, okay? So that would fit within our dynamic of what we'd typically be interested in investing in to try and make even money on something as it does go down, as it retraces, because these levels will hit. This is not uncommon at all, okay? It may seem phenomenal. It may seem out there. You can't, tell me that it's going to hit the same level, 2 times and produce returns both times for the people that got involved in it. Absolutely. I talked about stacking the other day, getting together, and I said, if the price action, overall price action goes up, let's say, 150%, that's great. I'd like to trade it and make 250 to 350%. I want to make 2 to 3 times. I want to make that alpha on top of what the ordinary return is for the price of the concern, of the investment concern. I want to capitalize, and one of the ways I can do that, the retracement is a very natural phenomenon. It's something that happens almost inevitably. It's like gravity. It's going to be a part of the equation, period. So as we see this retracement, bam, that's one of our pricing targets, okay? We pick up X number of percentage, typically there, okay? Bam, it's another pricing target again. Now we play this very lightly on top. As we go down, we double and triple down, all right? We always want a better price. So we're willing to put more capital in at lower levels. This is a detailed strategy. It belongs to a lot of the most important investors on the street, guys. So I'm explaining in the context of kind of a serious retracement that we're going through right now. And I'll say it's serious because, this is Harmony One channel. This is what we do is just, this is what we're doing all day long. But you guys are in Dogecoin, and you guys have just experienced this huge phenomenal, some of you got in at 0.007. So some of you are sitting on huge amounts of cash. So, I want to give you the most kind of, let's say the best information I can give you in terms of how can I help you understand exactly what's going on with the price action to where you can take it kind of to the memory bank and say, well, maybe I don't need to be this emotional after all. If you had more money and you weren't let's say over leveraged at any kind of higher price, etc., this might be something, if you just love Dogecoin, that you're interested in trading. And I don't think there's a channel out there where you would say, I watched some of them, where you would say, yeah, this is a sophisticated approach to trading Dogecoin. Because on every single, I'm going to tell you, every single price action that you have to the upside, you're going to have a retracement, and on these retracement levels, you're going to have some additional price action. Okay, and I mean price action to the upside. You're going to experience gains. Okay, this is the golden pocket. Now, thus far on the golden pocket, and that's just the reference. Okay, you've already gotten about 20%. Okay, this is where people who like 10% have a really nice day. People who want to trade on margin have a really nice day. And I'm not, I'll just say, I don't recommend people trade on margin unless you have a really good experience, background, financially, etc. But this is a 10% here. This is another 10% here. This here is a 10 or 20% here. Okay? So you're looking at multiple instances just working on the different fib levels where you are compounding your gains. And I'm telling you, if you can get in and get out at the next level, get in and get out at the next level, guys, you can make some money. And I'm talking about making the money while, okay, and I'm not at all talking about a pump and dump or a day trader crew that's against the diamond holders. Guys, I love the diamond hands. That's one of the best stories of the entirety of Dogecoin. It's phenomenal. I also love guys and girls that love to trade. Okay, that love fib levels, that want to get in heavier at lower levels, understand the game, understand this is part of the deal. This is part of trading. This is why we trade. We're all in the market. We all look at the screen we're looking at. This makes sense to a lot of us, particularly if you can start to capitalize with this strategy and say, yeah, I'm going to play these fib levels as it retraces. And really my approach is, okay, people got in at 0.005. Okay, well, I don't mind getting in at 50 cents. I want to work my way down in terms of my cost basis as if I was in at 0.005. Now, you can have those types of returns depending upon the price action. Believe it or not, you say, well, you're going to double your money if you hold on to it. I'm going to quadruple my money, okay, in the same amount of time. You can do things like that because you pick up on, while all this price action is frustrated on the downside, whatever else is going on, guys, you pick up on the upside and you can pick up on the downside. So it requires maybe some extra cash. It definitely requires, I'll say this much, it requires some discipline, okay? Because you have to understand the way that these Fibonacci levels work. And this is just showing you tremendously well how they do work because you got picked up right here for an order, okay? You made a good amount of money. You got picked up right here for an order, good amount of money, okay? And I won't count this one because it does bounce back into here, but you probably put an order in if you're on my team. If you listen to our strategy, you guys understand you had an order in at this level because we pepper in at the top level, okay? We double down at this level. We just do at this top level, that bright green line we start, we just pepper in a little bit. I say, maybe $100. Now for you, maybe 1,000, it may be 10,000, depending. The bottom level is about 5,400. It multiplies down. It doubles down every single level. And it's a big time investment approach. It's not my investment approach. I didn't invent it. It's used by some heavy traders with institutional kind of worldwide global leverage and kind of a dynamic success. And I like it's a good winning strategy. So and it produces results just like this. And I can't make this up, guys. I could not draw a Fibonacci in front of you for you to look at on the Dogecoin retracement like right now and have it any further like verify or validate the approach that I take on this channel every single day. And for the crowd that listens to me every day, this is exactly the approach I take every day, and this is exactly how the listeners to the channel are consistently making money. Okay, consistently following approaches, consistently on the way down, putting more money in here at different levels. getting a price target that is so specific that literally people will look and say, you did not give them a price target. And I just tell you, a price target of, and I didn't give out price targets on this, okay, because this is not my ordinary investment concern. I traded this differently. But in terms of the pricing targets, we are week in and week out literally giving the pricing target of exactly what is on this level. And I'm talking about exactly, precisely. So the 25 cent right here, that is exactly the level that we are getting people involved at. And we're telling people, after you reach the high, all we need is the low and the high, and from there everything is done. Everything, all these calculations are done. We don't have to do them. It's part of the program. When we draw the fib in, okay, when we establish this trend, we allow the exchange software to calculate these levels for us. The exchange software is literally telling us exactly what the retracement levels are and where these are going to hit. Exactly. They're giving us this software. If you get, for instance, on Binance, they're going to give you TradingView. Now you can get an updated. This is a premium package that I have. If you don't have one, you can watch the channel, or you can learn, or you can pay for one, whatever you need. But this is the trading software given to us by the largest exchange in the world for cryptocurrency. They have fib levels. They know that it's integral. Okay, it's literally integrated within the operation of the market. Otherwise, they wouldn't give it to us. So just understand that they would not give us software that had no meaning. Okay, and some people say, well, it's too complicated. I don't want to draw that. I tell you guys, when you see multiple hits like this, now this is kind of one of the biggest investments in the world right now. Okay, Dogecoin is all over CNN, all over CNBC, Forbes. It's all over the place. So when the fib works on the biggest investment on the planet right now, essentially it's got more traction, I think, than probably anything. It's hotter than anything on the planet right now. I'll say that, especially with the news today about going to the moon with Elon being selected by NASA. Shout out. That is awesome. Everyone, congratulations. That's the most exciting news I've seen in a long time, that a private individual will be selected by NASA. That is phenomenal. Congratulations to all of you. That must make you feel very happy. That's a step forward for everybody, and that's something to be celebrated. It's fantastic. I think kind of, in another regard, like in terms of validation, what we're doing, well, I'm very excited for you guys. I don't want you to lose any money at all, or value in your holdings. I'm very excited that you're here to see what we do, because what we do is we play fib levels, okay, and we play them heavier. At the top level, we don't have any money to invest, okay? The next level, and this is standard, we do this on everything. Anything that wants to retrace, you guys say, well, we want to buy the dip. All right, well, we want to go heavyweight, double and triple down. Okay, that's our style. Double and triple down. Meaning first level, and this is the example when I say $100 at top, I'm just talking about peppering in a little bit of money. There's a chance it could take off, right? There's a chance we could miss the upward trajectory. So we want some exposure. In terms of, like, a supply and demand curve, just think about, did you guys ever take economics, or what's the most advanced class you ever took? Let's say accounting or otherwise. You learn that at a high extreme price, there's no demand. But at an expensive price, well, there's some demand. It's not, it's not much, but there's some demand. This is an expensive level for us, right? The price is it's pretty high. So maybe we just have, let's say, about $100, okay? And that's an example. You may add a 0 or 2 zeros onto the end of this, okay? Maybe 1,000, maybe 10,000. That's fine. If you got 10,000 here, I would say you probably got about $1 million down here, all right? And that's just on this level. When you pull back out, when you zoom back out, you've got double down here. All right, so you always have to have insurance for the lower level. And the bigger guys that you'll hear talk about on the multi-billion-dollar levels, okay, I'm talking about they're investing hundreds of billions of dollars into crypto and advanced currencies. They talk about, literally, they'll say, we are prepared to double down at lower levels. And you'll hear that, and you may not understand what that means. It almost sounds like you're in a kind of a strategy for maybe a Vegas trip. No. This is institutional level investing at the highest levels that you're going to find the most successful traders, okay, I'd say in the world. I'd say competition to BlackRock. I don't even think BlackRock really steps into their league. And now BlackRock is in kind of a league of their own here, but this is like international conglomerate level of trading. So that's what they'll say, is we are ready to double down. okay, at the lower levels. They don't just mean here on the most recent pricing event. They're talking about, I'll tell you, they're talking about all the way down here. And they have already doubled down here, then they've doubled down here, whatever these lower levels are. Now, we'll go into at some point how all of these kind of lower levels fit into the instant kind of frequency or this instant price action that we're looking at. But what I do want to just focus on again is the notion that, guys, you got picked up for some cash here. All right, along the way, while other people, and I want to make sure that this is drawn correctly, while other people were not doing well or other people did not exit the trade correctly, and that's one thing we focus on is you got to exit the trade correctly. Yeah, you got to get out correctly. Okay, that's nice. This was a complete repeat of the previous pattern. Okay, you literally had to try not to pick up on this exit point. And I'll just tell you guys, literally you had to try to mess up the exit point. Now, and I'll just say this, if you didn't know what the exit point was, hey, no one's going to necessarily just tell you. This is the type of work that I say this is not work. I don't want to use that. This is just the type of analysis that we would typically do, all right? We have literally a perfect match here, okay, in terms of the frequency interval or let's say the pricing interval as it's applied one to the second level. So the fact that you would have missed this if you traded this, and now we traded this, okay, we got in and traded this. Now the fact that you may have missed this means that maybe you guys, maybe you just weren't paying attention, maybe you were busy, or maybe I don't know, maybe you're just holding, and maybe you didn't want to trade it. But that's about the most straightforward, just a repeat in the pricing action that you possibly could have hoped for. And we saw that step, those steps kind of ongoing. We saw that predictability, and that's what we liked. And that's why we entered into it was a textbook bull pennant right here. So we took that bull pennant and we took it for a ride. It's kind of like I said, it's just a free meal. It's just we're gonna eat that. It's a perfect setup. So we didn't mention that on the tape that we were going to get into that. We did notify later on. As soon as this breakout occurred, we got involved. About a 70%. It was a nice ride in here. Got involved. Realized this wasn't going to be it. Essentially, we published that. Okay, we published that. I didn't get into Fibonacci retracements and investment patterns on Dogecoin because the crowd doesn't know anything about it. Okay, you guys don't know anything about it from the Doge crowd. We do this daily, and not to belabor the point, but I want you to be kind of prepared for the fact that not only did you get picked up at this level. Now this is the golden pocket. Let's go over what that is. And I tell you, it is so small on my screen right now. I'm not sure why. It's the 618. Okay, you're going to test my memory on the Fibonacci's. I'm going to do well, but it's illegible right now. It's the 618, okay, the 61.8 to the 65, okay, so it's going to stretch down. Now that's 61.8% of the retracement, okay, from the low to the high of the trend, okay, of the price action, the overall price action, not each individual one, okay, these are individual steps, individual price actions. So as you draw that line over, this is going to be a 61.8 retracement, okay, to a 65% retracement, okay? And it did overreach just a bit. And so this is a textbook example, and I mean exactly. As you look in, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see, literally, you're over the edge here, and you're literally from that 61.8 down into that 65. That is textbook golden pocket. Now that ratio is called the golden ratio because it's defined in so many different things. It's required for growth processing of all types of, not just price action, I'll say, not just the market, but it's a gold. Look up the golden ratio if you want to. Fibonacci golden ratio. Look at everything it's applied to. It is applied, I'll say, specifically with the technology that the exchange is giving you to use. And you have to recognize that they're giving you an interface and they're allowing you, let's say on Binance, to use this software. It's for a reason. So do pay attention kind of to the channel overall. If you guys subscribe, start listening to the videos because we are profit motivated and we're very aggressively geared towards trying to inform people about things that they just may not understand and kind of some different strategies in terms of protecting yourself, in terms of we're very big on this double down or triple down approach. We want to increase our volume at lower levels. Okay, we want to have a diminished cost basis. We want to have a lower cost basis or a cost per coin. Okay, that's kind of the basics of what we do. A lot of people talk about charts, what they feel about it, what it's going to do. This shape does that. It's bullish, it's bearish. Well, we're going to accumulate. We're going to make money when it's bullish. we're going to make money when it's bearish. So I kind of bring this into the context. We just talked about a regular flow of trading initially, because the crowd, you guys don't know anything about kind of an accumulation pattern or say price targeting. We literally supply these targets for these prices, a long time out, days out sometimes. So you would have had these definitely with you, and we literally have them with us days in advance of them hitting. They're there. Okay, the price target, you see it hit. It's not a question of whether or not it hit. We deliver these days in advance so people can set up their trades, so they can program their trades. We don't provide financial advice. I'm a former financial analyst after Duke University, et cetera, and I've worked on some very big deals up and against Harvard, Foundation, some very large deals. And yeah, my numbers are very good. They're very accurate, and they were good enough for Harvard, et cetera, and good enough for some other very large deals that I was pleased and kind of blessed to work on. So it's nice to be able to bring some strategy to you. We can get involved in the other strategy. I just want to kind of zone out a little bit, just relax, because that's some kind of intensive work as we're looking at it. Remind ourselves we're looking at Dogecoin. It's done phenomenally well. We relax, but we do see, what's the good news? Well, this thing is behaving perfectly well. Okay, that's the other thing. It's behaving perfectly well. Look at the retracement that it's experiencing right now in and around the golden pocket. This is beautiful. That's exactly what's supposed, I don't want to say that's what's supposed to occur, but that's the golden ratio. And if you read about the golden pocket, you're never going to be upset at your price action going there. It's a fundamental ratio that is it's almost required, guys, for the proper growth of a price action. So, and you'll get into it. Most people don't want it to get into it. It's a great lesson for everybody else who's into any other coin right now, from Harmony One to from anything, from Binance, whatever we're into right now. And I'll say that it's a great lesson because so many people will get involved in a retracement on a localized level here. And they'll say, well, right here, I don't mind if we hit the goal. I don't mind if we retrace 61.8% during this price action. But I'll tell you, if you even think about, and people just start getting angry, it's like, what happened to us? What went on with our price action? Is completely fallen apart. Guys, this is one of the healthiest things that could have happened to the overall price action. You'll tolerate it on an individual level, and you won't even know what's going on. Okay, the fact that it has occurred on the overall level just tells us that we're into that level of the growth cycle. Okay, you have expanded enough, you've multiplied your money and your price action enough that it needs to kind of roll over. And I'll just bring up the example real quickly, just so you guys see. This is probably a great time to discuss this. Let's see if we can discuss one. I want to get into Harmony One just for a minute, just so you look at the chart, okay, and see what you guys see that's familiar, okay? Because we've been going through this in Harmony One. We've been profiting, okay? We've been making money on these fib levels. Very detailed analysis, okay? But look at this, straight up, and we reached a level, a limit. Binance even said that's about it, and we started to retrace. We worked very hard to hit a sideways channel. Okay, you guys on Dogecoin, you went up, you did great. You actually did hit with Robinhood and some other individuals. You hit some stagnation. I know you did. Binance, I know, for instance, hit a limitation in terms of their ability to process orders. I don't know how that may have affected things. I find it a little bit odd, and I'll just say this for the record. I think you guys will agree. I find it a little bit odd that all you need is one really hot stock and everything at the exchanges starts to kind of shut down. Do you guys find that a little bit odd? Because it was in February that Robinhood kind of shut down. Do you guys remember that? They shut Dogecoin down. And then it was recently with us, and this is not a speech on the issue, but I just find it a little bit odd, and we have to discuss it. Then it was recently on Harmony One, and that was when we were just doing very well. A lot of people started to do very well, right? And they kind of got shut down. We had that issue this weekend, or towards this weekend. I guess we're kind of in the weekend, essentially. But within the last 24, 48 hours, heading into the weekend. I've been saying that, I don't know, last few days, I've been wishing everybody to have a good weekend. Nice to see you. I'll see you next weekend. I don't know why. But as we look into that, I'm off on my days, but working out too much. The situation here is right when we get up and these escalate, and it's right in a specific, it's an odd timing to me, guys, because it's another example. Now, Dogecoin just went through this, okay, with Robinhood. I know that for a fact, right? In February, I was involved. Okay, I was involved with the whole scene. And I was like, this is not good. Harmony One just went through this. Now look at the chart, guys. It's the same chart. You see the chart? Yeah, it's the same chart, right? Why is it that there is a like kind of a stop, kind of a plug in the well that they just want to go ahead and plug the well up when people start making too much money? I'll say the one thing that we could maybe say about it, it has to deal with the Fibonacci's because they're laid out perfectly on both of these. If we look at both of these, somehow the Fibonacci still apply perfectly. So maybe it does have something to do with the growth or something to do with the limitations of the actual exchange. I'm just at the point I really don't buy it. And I just tell you guys, I've been around in the market for a long time. Some of you have as well. You're sophisticated as well. It just, at this point, it's happened 1, 2, 3 times, and it's always in this growth phase. It's always right up in this beautiful growth phase. And then, oh, well, all of a sudden we're having problems processing things. And now I don't have anything against Binance or anything against Robinhood. But I mean, if you're gonna start, really limiting people's ability to, and what I don't like is their ability to make money on their chosen investment. Okay, if you limit it on this, and you don't limit it on something else. I don't like people choosing who is allowed to make money and who is not allowed to make money. That kind of violates the free market principles. If everybody gets kind of cooled off at the same time, maybe there's a rule for that, or there's some sort of reason I don't know, maybe some law, I don't know. But I don't like it. So I'm going to bring that up in the context that I just don't like it. And I saw people kind of being friendly with this and that and Vlad with Robinhood, and I'm like, man, just wait, let's see what happens. So I'm sorry that happened again. I hope that wasn't the only reason that this did occur. It's possible. As the news reports are coming out, yes, there was some stagnation and there were some problems. Now, I know there's a massive increase, but guys, these are the largest exchanges in the world for crypto. They should be able to handle that. I mean, I would think they'd be able to handle that. I don't know. So anyway, the fact it keeps happening, it causes me concern. Okay, it causes me concern because it happened in Harmony One. We're involved in Harmony One. We love Harmony One. Or we've worked like a dog to get this thing back into a nice trading channel. All right, it's not always easy to just realign this thing and get it to go really beautifully. The good thing, I'll say the good thing for Dogecoin. Listen to this. This is a beautiful thing for Dogecoin. Now, excuse me. With Harmony One, we went through this same period, okay, and we both have gotten shut down because we were too hot, right? So great. I mean, you guys, we probably know the same. We know the story, and probably some of the same people online, etc. But as this went up, we got cooled off here by Binance, and we got thrown into a little bit of a retracement and a sideways channel. We worked to get this channel. I can explain how that occurred, but that was over a period of like a month, guys. You are doing this over a period of a day, all right? So that is the nice thing as you guys look at. It seems like a catastrophic situation, and I'll say that maybe it's a good thing and it's a dangerous thing because as you're looking at doing this in a day, okay, you're also looking at the fact that, well, you can accomplish that in a quicker period of time. Everyone wants to grow, right? Yeah, you can. But that also means in the process you have to have the right mindset. Okay, because in the context of this being all in one day instead of in like over the period of time of a month, this is all in one day. This is all about in 2 days, let's say. So you're going to have this same pattern unfold. Excuse me. But in terms of the pattern unfolding, all of this is occurring in one day. Do you know kind of the emotional roller coaster that this is going to be for you guys? The number of what do they call them, paper hands that's going to get washed out. It's just, it has the ability, and this is what I talked about. If you guys go all the way up, okay, last night I talked about an example. If you go all the way up in an elevator in a building, a 20-story building, and it opens up and you look out and there's no floors. It's like, you're going to be frightened, okay? That's the kind of feeling you get when things retrace to the point of, say, the 618, this golden pocket, if you don't know what it's doing. If you know what it's doing, believe it or not, you're probably out here at the top. You've probably made some money already here at 10%, maybe once or twice. This hits often twice. You guys know that. Why do I know that? It hit twice right here. Bam, bam. Okay? And these are the fibs are in the way here. This is in Harmony One. It hit twice. Dang, right there. We had a big movement up here. The same equivalent. Just lay over the charts. It's the same story. So it's very predictable. But when you're out here and you're back in here and you're back in here and then you're right back in here and you have these targets, guys, you're just making money. And it allows you to trade if you enjoy, it allows you more action, okay? More action in terms of the price stock or the pricing, let's say the pricing events and how you're going to be involved in them. And, it's nice to be involved in them. It's nice to do your calculations and to continue to make money on kind of like a daily basis. That's kind of, it gives you that experience of being involved in trading. And you don't mind necessarily that it goes to the 618. Now, I'll tell you guys, if you don't like talk about it going down, you guys know the process. You've been through it in Dogecoin from February when it got shut down with Robinhood. You guys have been in an incredible holding pattern. I can't believe the sustainability and the fortitude of the Doge guys. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You guys are working on the right kind of maybe the right kind of coffee. I don't know what you're taking, but it's nice, okay, to see that kind of cohesion. Harmony One is doing the same thing right now. And we both got shut down by exchanges, so I bring up Harmony One. We have a very loyal base with Harmony One, and I want you guys to kind of get to know each other. It's a good crowd. I've gotten some exposure to both crowds. I think you guys will like it. So this is the bottom line. As you look at these specific levels of investment, okay, the specific levels of investment are at these Fibonacci's. So while it is going down, I talked about yesterday, we want to start with an amount of money, right, in this process. The ideal goal is to take that amount of money and whatever we decide to invest, let's say it represents this right here. Well, in the process, we want to do this, right? We want to double it, okay? We just about did that on our first trade, about 70%. So we want to stack that one when we make it. We want to stack it over there. Now, if we almost made one over the, let's say on the first trade here, well, how are we going to make any more while it's going down? Well, bam, there's our solution right here. We're going to start right here at the fib levels, okay? And this is going forward. I didn't bring up fib levels because I didn't want to hand out pricing targets, guys. I'm going to tell you, I hand out pricing targets all the time on our Discord or everything else, on our Twitter. I'm giving pricing targets all the time. They hit just like this, just so you know. Literally, it's not complicated. You have to be able to know how to draw your fibs very well, okay? In between the different timing intervals, if you're on a 5 minute versus a 1 hour versus a 1 day versus a 4 hour, you have got to know. You have got to make sure your fibs are right, or else you'll never get any of your trades executed, or you might pay way too much. Okay, you might overpay and not make any money. So please be careful. And I'll just say it's not investment advice. Please don't draw your own fibs and start investing. But this is just what we do. This is a strategy that we talk about because it allows people, when you've already gone up all of this amount up here and you've capitalized on this entire pricing event, well, things kind of cool off. It's like, well, what am I supposed to be doing now? Well, let's sit around and talk about the culture. Well, why don't we sit around and make money? Because bam, bam, this was all today, bam, bam. And we do this all the time, okay? I didn't produce these pricing targets. The guys who are with me and know my channel, they're like, no, we do this all the time. This is all we do. We normally have to wait 2 days to get there, okay? You guys are within a period of hours. Bam, bam, bam. This is a fun day of trading for you guys. So, yeah. As we look at it, that's what we do on the channel. We try and stack another one over there, okay? And as it goes forward, if you guys are on the upside or you're on the downside, we always have, and this is the good thing, we always have money at lower levels ready to pick up on the eventuality that it does decide to retrace down, okay? That's just the way that things go. For people who would want to know, okay, that's fine. That's what you do. That's great. That's the price action. You want to make money in the meantime. If something's going down, I'd like to make money while it's going down. And that's probably due to my affinity with options and my previous history in having a private hedge fund. So it's so clearly laid out for you. I don't see why people would literally just want to leave money on the table. That's the way I look at it. So and that's for right now, this is a new approach maybe for you. You're learning Fibonacci's, but at least appreciate right now. You can appreciate whether or not you're interested in that at all. You can appreciate the fact that you're hitting these levels. So you can see that there is some sort of a structured overall pattern, a calculated pattern that is kind of being achieved by your investment concern. That should give you some degree of, I'd say, a good feeling. I'll just say that should give you a good feeling, or at least kind of give you some ease as you understand that this is cooperating with the normal calculations of kind of what should go on. And in fact, it hit the golden pocket, which means that's kind of the golden ratio. That's kind of like a required ratio that if you're going to hit that on your way up, let's say on your way up, okay, to a higher level. Now, it may want to even cruise down from where it's going to go now, but on the way up to a higher level, guys, hitting the golden pocket along the way would define the golden pocket. I just promise you, hitting the golden pocket along the way of the retracement, that's from your base to your top level. And this is a significant trend here, which is worth measuring. It's worth the calculations. You can see from the hits on the trend line, this double hit on this trend line, okay? This that's the 0.50, I believe, the 50% retracement, just 50%, okay? A retracement, okay? It retraces 50% from the value of the initiation of the pricing action to the top. We have a retracement of 50%. Okay, well, that can be healthy, but this golden pocket is really, really crucial for growth. So I would take this as a positive right now. We talked about last night, if we continued to see the different steps being put into play with Dogecoin, we could see it doing very well as long as it had these individual steps. Well, we traded this. We made about 70%. I'm like, that's a little bit more than a step, you know. That's what the trade made, 70%. It maxed out a little over that. You have to look at the candles, but that's what the trade we entered here. It was a bull flag, bull pennant. We could not pass it up. I was going to bed. I'm like, I can't pass that up. I'm gonna do it at a light level, and I always discuss that because we always have more money underneath. We're never exposed. Never overexposed. So never overexpose yourself in a trade, okay? You don't want to do that and you say, well, I'll use a stop loss, I'll get back out, etc. No, guys. Just keep it light. There's nothing wrong with experiencing some positive price action without going all in with your chips, without going all in with your account, and just burning through coins. That's just not fun. It is fun to have pricing targets and to know that a retracement is part of the story here and know it's gonna hit. It always hits, guys. It always hits. You'll start drawing these, and I'll tell you, start drawing these, go to different price actions, and start looking at the different levels. Start practicing on where you're going to draw these. We draw them all the time, okay, here. So we're very used to the rules. You know, we stay right on top of this previous pricing action. It has to be exact, okay? And we know exactly the time frame we're in and how it's going to apply. Whether or not we're trading kind of a day trading, we're kind of being aggressive in a day trader approach. We want to be, you know, are we on the 5 minute right now? Okay, that's fine. We're day trading this, right? And that's not going to affect the shape of the chart essentially, but it'll affect some of the details. I won't get into the specifics. So you have to know the time frame you're in. You have to know kind of your approach of what's going on, and yeah, you'll be able to get these pricing targets. At least you'll be able to get them from us. I'll say that. That's what we do, and it's not just after the fact. Of course, he's going to say, no. This is a calculated event. I'm showing you right now what is being calculated. And the investment levels, I'll just say this, the investment levels, the acquisition levels of what's remaining on the board. And you can look at what's remaining on the board. I'm going to say what's still remaining on the board is going to be the 7.8. It says 786. I think it is. Literally, it's disappeared, so you're testing my memory. I think it's 786. 681, 786. I'm not going to go through all of them. But as you look at this, that's still on the board. It can retrace to that. It can decide we want to take a trip on down to the 786. Okay, it can say that, and no problem. What are you going to have here? You're going to have probably more money. Okay, you're going to have another pricing event, and I'll just tell you that now. You're going to have another pricing event. If you retrace all the way to the baseline here, okay, to that baseline, well, that baseline is going to be maybe a different call because you're going to have to measure exactly what the previous price action was, okay, that previous price action and the level of support that represents, and kind of what kind of a position you're entering into and kind of the reason why you're falling. Typically, if you're erasing all of the pricing action, it can get a little bit dicey on that last level as you're completely exiting. Now, you would be entering into a different level. I'll get into the overall macro approach. In terms of what do you have underneath here and why. Okay, because you don't want to just trade one pricing event. Okay, you want to plan for the contingency on the downside. And again, the big guys invested in crypto. They literally know. Okay, they know we are prepared, quote unquote, we are prepared to double down at lower levels. Okay, so that's essentially what's going on here as well. More exposure at these lower levels. So the fact it got into the golden pocket, there's more money available there. I'll just tell you, a lot of people have more money. It's kind of on a programmed basis. You guys can understand there's automatic trading. This is one of the levels of automatic trading. If you can jump in with automatic trading, you are letting your money coast with a whole lot of, billions of dollars essentially. So it just makes sense. And let's look. You guys have made a great retracement, and I'll say a retracement up to that next level, up in that bib level, past the 0.5, and it looks like you're doing a nice little slingshot there. You even got some. Look at that. That's beautiful, huh? Look at that. That's very nice, huh? Very well done. Looks like you're forming a little bit of kind of a slingshot action there. And you're going from that, let's see, that golden pocket up to the, let's say, 50% retracement and heading on up. So that looks like something is nicely done in achieving. And see, people won't understand. You'll never understand. Try and pick up on this real quickly. People will never understand. I will say you were able to achieve this golden pocket. You were able to achieve this low price here. Because everyone says, no, the price is supposed to go up. But see, what you're doing is you're forming a foundation. Okay, and people may draw sideways lines. They may say, well, now we have this as support. Now we have this as support. Now we have, no, guys. The trick is, and that may work sometimes in the future. It may work as you go on down the road. We just talked about needing to be careful with that in terms of the previous price action. But as we look at kind of different levels of support here, you have to find some level of support here. And I say, if you're just absolutely, going to the moon here with a high velocity of, the velocity is the change in price, the vertical change in price over a specified period of time. So a high velocity in price means you changed a lot. You went up a lot vertically in terms of price over a short period of time. When you get into high velocity events, okay, you need a correction, and you need to be able to achieve some kind of a correction. Otherwise, you're not going to have any kind of foundation. You're not going to have anything built in. This builds in orders right here. This builds in a price basis. Think about this. Individuals, there are orders on the books, literally on the books right here at this golden pocket. Now they have a position at this 618. Okay? That otherwise they wouldn't have that position. If you're just going up, understand what would occur. And you're smart enough to understand this. If you didn't have any of this rebuilding of those positions at, say, the 618, if you were to get up into, let's say you got up in, all of a sudden, you've achieved it, you've gotten up to, and you guys will critically understand this point, you've decided you've gotten all the way up to, let's say, $1.50. Okay, but you haven't stopped along the way at all to build up any, okay, think of this, to build up any support. You haven't stopped at all to retrace back at all to build up any holders anywhere. So all you have is a group that has been buying into this. And what's going to happen when they reach $1? Let's just imagine what would happen when they reached $1 and everyone decides the goal is done. We did it. Sayonara. And what's going to happen? See you later, right? And some of you may just hold forever. That may happen. But when you get buyers, okay, who are committed at different levels, what you're doing is establishing different levels, let's say a different buyer interest at that level. That's going to maintain as you go up. They're going to have that as a cost basis. Okay, that's critically important for the formation, for the foundation. And I say the pricing future, the future upside pricing, what do we want to say? The upward pricing stability. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to give you too much. I'm thinking about, should I tell them it's going to go up? Should I say that? It's the upward pricing kind of stability. If you're trying to build that in, easier for me to say, huh? I'm just worried about giving you guys financial advice. I don't want to get your hopes up either, because I'll tell you, this Head and Shoulders was nasty. Okay, it didn't look nice, and it was just it didn't look good. But I don't think you're worried about getting financial advice from me. I'm a previous financial professional, but I don't think you're worried about getting advice from me. I bet you guys get all the advice you need in your chat rooms and everything else that you're interested in. So this is that nasty, I'd say nasty kind of Head and Shoulders that you went through. And these are going to develop on the daily, etc. But that really caused you to just hammer down. And what it did, it achieved you guys getting to the golden pocket. Now, see, when I say it achieved you getting down here, it's like, are you kidding? Are you crazy? Look at the price. That's not an achievement. Up here is an achievement. It is up here. That's a great achievement. But what did you do here? Well, you kind of stopped off, and you guys understand this. And now you're starting to understand you don't just need the steps in and along the way, because some people picked up in here, but then wham, they all picked up. All right? Some of them may have gotten shaken out. They made their 70%, just like me. All right? I got in here. I shook out up top. No problem. All right, I'm gone. Over in here, what happens? Over in here, as opposed to up in here, well, all these guys may have shaken out. I'm gone, right? My trade's gone, 70% of the upside. So what you're doing here is you're recreating people who want to create kind of a valued position in your upside. As you do that along the way, and you get on up, and you get on up, and you keep building that upside, guys, you're at 85 cents, and all of a sudden, you have a pricing structure underneath you. See, instead of this just being a all the way to the moon, no problem, with no pricing structure, see, these guys get washed out. They're looking just like I was at this perfect bull pennant. Let's get involved in this. I'm going to get washed out when I get my 70, 80%. No problem. You see, I'm gone. That's fine. Why? Because I want to hit this next one. All right, I'm going to hit this next one for 10%. Then I'm going to hit this one for 10% in a few hours, right? A few hours between this. I'm going to hit both these for 10%. Then I'm going to hit this one at the golden pocket for 10 to 20%. All right, that's what I'm going to do. That's the nature of people who are involved in a multi-billion-dollar industry. Okay, it's a huge financial concern. It's very exciting, guys. You have some you have some phenomenal pricing action going on. So do understand how this Fibonacci works. Do understand it's an amazing example of exactly what you've hit. Okay, it's precise. It's pristine. It's a pristine kind of example of kind of what we do at this channel. We give you these pricing targets all the time, ahead of time. In terms of, we already know this is a pricing target here. And normally we lay this out ahead of time. I didn't want to get ahead of everybody, because if I get ahead of everybody, you're gonna not understand precisely what's going on. I want you to always understand. The big notion of yesterday's talk was to make sure that you were lightly involved. Okay? I didn't want people exposed to the trauma necessarily of the fall off. Whenever that did occur, it's kind of not worth it at this point. You see, there has been a retracement, and that made some sense in terms of kind of suggesting that you at least think about that. And it's not financial advice. It's just kind of, a word to the wise, I'd say, in terms of management of your stress, etc. So what's going to happen from here? People want to know what's probably going to happen. Great question. You want to know, well, are we going to fall to the 0.78? You absolutely can. Absolutely 100%. You can get to this 0.78, okay, without a doubt. And as you look at that 0.78, I'm going to have to literally look at this. I don't want to say it's like 20 cents, something like that. And you don't want to say it's like anything like that. You want to say it's like, no, we need to get back to 44 cents. But I bring that up, guys, in terms of being lightly involved. Why? Because the retracement, 78% retracement of the price action from, was it 14 cents, 12 to 14 cents, up to what did we get to? 40 some odd cents, 44 cents? Okay? The retracement of 78% of that, guys, you're looking at like 20 cents. So you're looking at people who purchased at over 40 cents, getting down to 20 cents. That's a big deal. You understand why I'm saying, now this is a perfect retracement. We deal with this all the time. This is exactly our specialty. That's it. When you deal with people losing half their money, okay, that's a catastrophic situation for people. So when I talk about, I focus on the previous video that I put forth. We have a lot of educational videos. That's my purpose, to educate you guys based on my experience, etc. Is to let you guys know, just pepper it in, guys. Just pepper in a little bit of money in around here. I tell everybody, and understand this, if it's a great investment, okay, you can put in 10% of your money and you can make the other 90%. I promise you. I've seen it happen, a dozen times with people very close to me, me personally, etc. If it's a great investment, 10% of your money will make you 90% of it. And you're proof of that, guys. You're proof of that with Dogecoin. You're going to go to $1. That's fine. Okay, well, I mean, you put in 10% of it up front. Everyone else at the end, they're going to put in big money to try and get it up that last end of the ladder, right? Now they're trying to get in at heavy levels. You're proof that works. So try to keep it real light. And you guys who are thinking about getting involved, make sure that you understand. Make sure that you understand that this is just high-risk situation. And I don't like people walking through the doors of potentially losing half their money. All right? It's just not, it's not good for the community. And we want to take heart a little bit into all the different communities. We appreciate what Dogecoin has done, okay, in terms of keeping the community together. We're very strong in Harmony One. We love trading. We're very specific on pricing targets. Guys, we're out the box, and literally I'm on Discord giving these pricing targets like immediately, bam, 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 beforehand. They already have these pricing targets right now on my Discord. Bam, 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 to trade this with the investment levels, okay? Now, in terms of the future price action, if we choose to trade Dogecoin on the consistent, my group knows that we are going to be precisely on target. You guys know how precisely on target we're going to be? Yesterday, I will tell you this, yesterday, and you guys just focus for a minute on what I'm about to tell you, and it will seem unbelievable until you decide to literally go, and I'll say that yesterday because I think it's 1 o'clock. I want you guys to know, it was this morning, or it was yesterday morning, okay, that I discussed, what did I discuss in that video? I talked with you guys about, and it was ahead of time, I talked to you guys about the fact, I said, okay, in terms of the timing, and this is the level of precision that I bring to the channel, okay? In terms of timing, I'm looking for a breakout. Now, guys, we were back here. We were back here. All right, none of this existed at all. Okay, literally, we were at here. I said in terms of timing, all right, I'm looking for a, what was it, maybe in around here. Where was this, where are we at? Yes, it was right here. I want to say right here. We were going through this event right here. The next pricing event, whatever it was, I want you guys to listen to the video if you can, but you don't need to listen to the whole thing. I promise you this is correct. I literally said, I want to see the next pricing accurately around, I want to say 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, right at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. Okay? Now, at 3 o'clock, and I mean literally on the dot, what happened? At 3 o'clock, guys, at 2:57 p.m., I am not kidding you, at 2:57 p.m., we broke out of this triangulated pattern. Literally, bam. At 2:57, I had told you, as of yesterday morning, that I wanted to see that at like 3 o'clock. Okay, so that's the level of precision that we can achieve. Okay, you can achieve the same thing. And it can help you mitigate your risk. It can help you plan on the upside. It can help you, I mean, it's just going to help you when you deal with that level of precision. I just bring that up because, yes, we entered into again. Now, what happened? Well, we ran into some different issues. We were playing this differently than the way we may have normally played it. We were in an aggressive stance going forward on kind of the bullish nature of things. We just entered a trade for 70%. There was nothing wrong with it. Let's stay bullish. This collapsed down. We didn't like it. We should have known here, well, let's go ahead and switch over. If I had switched over then to our retracement, I literally, I probably wouldn't have been able to have a good discussion with you guys if I'm floating around pricing targets. Just understand, without me having had this discussion with you, that I'm starting to float around pricing targets on our Discord with some of you, and you're seeing that, well, they have a giveaway, on Saturday for 2,000 Harmony 1, and now they're talking about pricing targets below where we're at on Dogecoin. Like, he's betting on the prices to go down. He wants the prices to go down. Not at all. I don't want that to occur. But I just know it's a natural process. As sure as it's happened in every single one of these, this bull pennant was perfect, guys. Perfect formation. You still had the retracements. You still had, okay, in and around. You still hit the 50% retracement on this. Okay, to say you don't want a retracement at all, he wants the price to go down. No, I'm just saying in and around this price action, I want to get a 50% discount. That's it. And I know they apply to the overall larger kind of pricing events. So don't think, it sounds more, when someone's losing 50% of their money, it seems like a bigger deal. On the smaller event, it's, well, they're just losing kind of 50% of that individual, let's say, run up in price. So it's a little bit more, it's not the whole enchilada that you're looking at. It's 50% of the whole deal. It sounds a little more severe. But I did not do that because a lot of you are new to the channel. You are paying attention, and you understand that you don't want me just floating around. Well, if we can get in here, we're waiting for it to get down to the 50% retracement or the golden pocket. If I start talking about things retracing 60% from where they are, that's not doing you much good, particularly if I have not explained the rationale. And now you have seen exactly how precise this is. You hit twice here. Bam, bam, at the different levels. Okay, we even have one at this level. So this is picked up as well. This down here, definitely picked up. This is golden pocket. This is 61.8 to the 65. It hit it perfectly. It couldn't have hit it any more perfectly. If you watch any, I challenge you, if you would like to or not, watch any of my own videos. This is what we do every day. We pick up on golden pocket. We pick up on the 50% retracement. We pick up on the, whichever level we're at, we're picking up on a 38.2 from the 20, just on and on. That's all we do, guys. That's all we do. So it should give you some peace of mind knowing that what's going on in Dogecoin right now, believe it or not, is in perfect alignment with kind of two things, with mathematics and with the software that they've kind of given you that let's say that is going to grow. I'd say going to grow the price of Dogecoin in the right way. Now, I also don't believe it's going to delay you too much. That's the good news. I don't think it's going to delay you too much because literally what it has taken a lot of us other people, us normal people in Harmony 1 or something else to go through. Now, we have fun trading this. We have fun hanging out. We have a good time. Really great guys. Shout out to Yosuke and a bunch of guys, Red Raider, some of the mods, some cool dudes, guys. My brothers, good guys. Good traders, by the way. But what's taking us a month to do, right? A month to do. You guys are going to go do that in like a day. Well, okay. Now, the downside, I'll say this, on the downside, and this is in a day, you guys are doing 2 or 3 days. You want to accomplish that all in 2 or 3 days? Okay, fine. Go ahead and do it. The downside is you have to gut it through losing 40% of your pricing action. So anyone else who is recently involved in this, if you decided to go in heavily and you're not peppered in lightly like I suggested, just listen. Yeah, some of you just saw half of your account literally disappear. So that's the downside of doing this quickly. We have a lot of stability over here, and it's a stability that we like. It's a real stability that we like, and it's predictable, guys. We can double our money, and on Harmony we can double our money sometimes in what, 10 days, and that's cool. Even when it's in a consolidation pattern or going down. This may have more of a little bit of a dip in here. I just say from the way it looks, it may catch legs if they decide to pump a lot of cash into it. It may catch legs. You're currently at 31 cents. That's still a good price, guys. I remember when it was at 5 cents. I don't know how many I bought. I think I bought 69,000 at 5 cents. So that is the truth. I bought 69,000 at 5 cents. So that's just what it is. I thought it just worked out well, and I was like, I'm going to buy 69,000 of these. So that's what I did. So that's the truth. The cat's out the bag on that. That's the truth. And I haven't told many people that, but I might as well tell you guys. If you're going to trust me on the retracements, I'll go ahead and trust you guys and tell you that I bought 69,000 Dogecoin at 5 cents. So anyway, as we get onto other things that make sense, you want to know what this is going to do. I'll tell you, we would typically in our strategy, we would have pricing targets laid out. This is phenomenally healthy for the future of your Dogecoin. I think it's a great sign. I would anticipate, just if you can trust that you're building up the proper levels of support here, guys, if you can trust that for right now, and that yes, the steps were nice, okay? We kind of knew this was on the upslope, yeah? This was kind of on that phenomenal, like, rising gradient when, my trade got 70 plus % today. I'm like, yeah, that's going to probably need to cool off. What do y'all think? We still traded this just to kind of, stick with the community a little bit. Got into the money a little bit, 20%, but the 70%, that was nice. That's going to work. So we get into that and we get into here. It's like, yeah, this is definitely on the upside. It's probably going to need to cool down. Retracements are in order. Different levels of support now, different levels of support and investment. Okay, the price is going up because there are orders at this level. Okay, when I talk about the golden pocket, it has bounced off of that because there are orders at that level. Okay, there are orders from people like me who are going to make money while it retraces. And guys, some of you you have diamond hands, you don't want day traders at all. I'll tell you, you need people like me and my group. You may want to do it, while it's going to naturally retrace, but that allows you, what does that allow you? It gives you, essentially, guys, it's going to give you that stability. It's going to give you that floor on the way up because people have a residual interest at this level. You have significant price action at this level. It's healthy. It's like, here's the step, here's the step in the staircase that we want to build. Great. Now, what do we have? Well, that's the step and staircase. Here's like the structural support for the staircase. And if you think about it like that, that's essentially the structural support for the staircase that's being built. This is going to be your structural support. So I like that analogy, and you can understand you need people trading this. You need people in at these levels. If you guys are all just on the upside and you have nothing to fill in between here and $1, there's no support. When you guys get to $1, what are you going to do if you haven't attracted any new investors? Some people they're going to hold on to that 98 cents they just got in. They're going to hold that, right before you get to $1. Some of you've been holding since 10 cents, and you're going to wear 1 cent, and you hit the $1 and it's out the door. All right, you guys are out the door, right? Other people are going to get in at 98%. They're going to buy in at that point in time. So you kind of need the dynamic of both the holders and the day traders, the accumulators. You need both of those to kind of support your price action. And I think you have a good mix of it. You're kind of learning right now. There's some people on the periphery like me and my group, okay, that have a little bit more of a stronger part of my group. That's my dog. He likes to bark every morning around 1 o'clock. It may have something to do with the neighbor. Sorry about that, but loudest dog on the block. He likes to go and wake up the entire neighborhood. So he'll wake me up in the morning to go jogging. But as we look at this, I do believe, and just like we need the dog, you guys need, it's funny, we're talking about the Dogecoin, it is the dog. You're like, I don't like if you don't like the barking, you guys are the dog group. So if anybody's going to like it, maybe you guys will like it. I don't know about that. But pardon the dog. He's a great dog. I love dogs. Everybody loves dogs. And it's a nice coin you guys have, the nice design. I'll say that. This is good price action. Understand the relationship between the diamond hand holders. Okay, understand the need for people to go in and trade this thing and give you guys that structural support. All right, so that's a good thing when you can get things at a discount to start with, and you're just building in that price level for the future. Okay, so it doesn't just collapse down on itself. This is the floor, or this is the structure of the steps you're building. So that's positive. In terms of where it's going, anyone can tell you guys anything. I've given you a good rundown right now in terms of why structurally this golden pocket has been hit. That's a big deal. You may go down to this level. Okay, you may go down into this, but this is typically, and I'll just bring this up, guys. You guys have, I think you're going to love this. Those of you who have stayed through and are listening to this, pay attention. Okay, because one thing I'm going to bring up right now, and you can judge the validity of it. Okay, you judge the validity of it. The validity of it. As we look at the pricing event, I'm going to bring this up because we love Harmony One, and we also understand it went through the same type of pattern. Let's say a lot of these individual altcoins, etc., will go through this pattern, and it's part of kind of the structural kind of build up that they do go through. And there's, it's not an exact correlation. Let me get rid of these real quickly just so you can see a little bit better. These are some just some patterns that we had established here, and we were happy to have established these. You can see the phenomenal pricing action that we were able to, and I say achieve, okay, that we were able to achieve here on Harmony One. And given the similarity of the two charts, you might want to just carry over a little rationale. You're in a kind of a different approach. Now we're on the we are on the Fibonacci's here as well, okay? And I can redraw this. We need to look at exactly kind of where we're at. Same scenario here, guys. We hit in and around this 50%. We went skyrocket, 30% up. This other level we hit twice. This level we hit one, bam, bam. On every level we're hitting, okay? So we've been playing this game for a while. People have been playing this game for years. As you look at the difference in price, now it's not exact, okay? It's not exact, but you start to see this stair-step action. Yeah, you start to see this stair-step action. Yeah, the stair-step action. This huge acceleration in price here. Yeah, the stair-step and this huge acceleration in price here. Yeah, and then you see kind of a cool off down. Yeah, and then you kind of see a cool off down. All right. Now we have gone into kind of a consolidation mode. It would be beautiful if the buyers in your community, if the buyers would be willing to support this, and I mean support this and give you a consolidation like what we're currently experiencing. Because I'll just tell you, it's healthy and it feels good. For a minute after you've experienced some losses, I know that Dogecoin has a history of falling off down into a gulch. I know that. I've seen it. That's when I got my, my big order in. Not big order, just, enough. It was 69,000. I like that. I bought that many. I just decided to buy it, specifically that many. So I don't know why. I just decided to buy that. It's just the truth. I have to say it's just the truth. So in terms of this, you see this kind of upward pricing trajectory. You see this on both of them. You see the way that that this has cooled down, and you notice a lot of similarities and a lot of charts. This is cooled down. If you guys can just, and it's only going to take you a day, or let's say during the next day, if you guys can consistently maintain this level, and I just say that from the buyer standpoint, if you can consistently maintain this level, I tell you, you will start to feel like you're about to go up, okay? Because that's what we feel right now. We have maintained these levels. We made money along the way, okay? Hitting these price targets. For instance, this price target that went up 30 to 50% on this day, we gave that pricing target in and around here. We laid out these pricing targets with, it's going to be heavy money in and around here. Bam, okay? These pricing targets we gave, bam, bam. These are smaller events here, 10%, 10%, 30%, 30%, 50%. So, those are good movements. Those are good pricing actions and good things to be a part of. If you can maintain, okay, if you can at least coast sideways, and you may get real volatile to the upside. I'm not sure. There's a lot of pressure, but if you can maintain this, okay, if you can consolidate and create some lateral, I say there's vertical, up and down. If you can maintain some lateral, okay, that's side to side. I'd say from the left to the right here. If you can maintain some lateral support in this area, you will begin to feel like it's time to move up again. Because right now you're kind of in that limbo phase. You don't know exactly what's going to occur. If you can maintain this level of support, and I'll say Doge is good at that. You can see that recently, but guys, Doge is one of the best at that. You guys have pegged that in and around your zone. Was it in and around the low fives? I said the low fives, dipping into I think the 4.9s. at times and around to the upwards, kind of the low 6 range. You guys were consistently there for a long period of time. So I would like to see that consistency in terms of how it will feel if you can create kind of a consistency like this channel, okay, this channel that was kind of laid out in the yellow. But if you can create that consistency in some march kind of along like that and use kind of Harmony 1 as a good, kind of example or template, and if you can have that just established for a second, you'll begin to feel like, hey, it's about time to go up. So it won't take much time. You may be there by tomorrow. The good news is that you have held it to this level. You may go down, but if you can, I'd say the goal right now would be to maintain this channel, to create some lateral, kind of just lateral consolidation for a minute here. And you'll feel like it may be about to move up after you've kind of reset that floor and carved in that floor, and these buyers you have a larger number of buyers that are accumulating in that region. That's exactly what's occurring in here with Harmony 1. Look at what occurred. Massive run up, recorrection, okay, or let's say retracement in line with the Fibonacci's, okay. Bam, these are perfect. And this got targeted hit. This was 13 cents. We hit it right on the target. Gave the target in advance. That's what we're good at. You guys join our Discord, whatever you'd like to do, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll bring you that information. That's what we do. This gives us, okay, in Harmony 1, a different level of support. All these buyers are coming into the market. When they fill up, it's just like, it's immediate. Just we see the buyers come into the market. It's like, there they go. More buyers coming in the market. More positions coming in the market. So that's what you need on Doge. You need some kind of a process here to allow the buyers to flow in to create your floor and this structure for this overall staircase. Okay, for this upward pricing trajectory. So whatever amount of time that you spend in this zone, I'll say in this zone or in and around here, as you're able to attract additional investments and you're laying the floor, and it may be institutional. You may have some whales that decide, let's build the floor. Let's essentially let's build the infrastructure down here. Let's go ahead and let's put the pavement down. Let's go ahead and put this pavement down, and we'll build up from there. Okay, that may literally be what needs to occur. I would anticipate if that does occur, it's very positive. Okay, I would not like to see a bunch of just kind of immediate shock to the system. In terms of the pricing action, I would prefer to see what you're very good at is this nice long, just for a second, just mow in some additional, because guys, this is very programmed. This is extremely programmed. You guys know that. It's a very well programmed asset. So it would be great to see just that long, consistent, beautiful kind of a rebuilding of this. And then you've got your floor at and around, is that 12? Yeah, you were just at 12. So if you can kind of rebuild this floor, you had experienced some great trades right here. That was nice appreciation of price action. And if you can do that and hit your, what is this about, what is that, 32? Yeah, if you can lay this floor in and around 30, if you can really get into, and I don't know exactly where that's about 30 right there. So maybe 29, 25, wherever you're at here on this Fibonacci's. You guys draw your own Fibonacci's, and just know wherever we're picking up additional orders in here, we're laying a foundation, okay, that's going to serve kind of like this served as a foundation. Like you don't want to necessarily go below this. There's a lot of buyer interest here, okay, that's evident. It's just kind of it's a nice kind of consolidation, perfect consolidation channel. Just passage of time, people are comfortable at that level. Once you get into this, say at around 32 to what is that, 26 to 32, okay, from 26 to 32, if you can just build up that wall here, that's just going to act as a support for all your other stair steps on the way up, all of your additional pricing action. If you don't have that support, okay, if you don't have that bulk of buyers in at this level, guys, you're building an elevator with no floor on it. Okay, that may be great. You're going to get to the top, but you're not going to have any kind of you're not going to have any kind of infrastructure. You're going to have a bunch of empty orders and a bunch of people willing to hold on till one or whenever that is, and it may be to the disservice of the overall. If you think about it, some of you may want to hold on forever. Maybe that's the case. Some of you may be waiting for one. I hear people liquidating right now. If you get up to a dollar, let's say that's right up here. If you get up to the dollar, it's not far away, guys. If you double this thing for 2 or 3 days in a row, you're going to be very happy. You're going to meet your target. Building up this support through the retracements and a little bit of consolidation a few times in the process would be beautiful. Okay, because then you're essentially guaranteed that not everyone's going to wash out and go out the door and you just go back down. What's the good if you build up to $1 and then it goes down to 5 cents again? Everyone's like, well, we're not using that, or well, yeah, I mean, come on, guys, that's not what you guys want. A nice orderly transition in and around that level. Wouldn't it be amazing if it hit 95 and then it went up to $1.05, and well, it decided to hang out at about $1.10 for like a month and a half? Wouldn't that be amazing? And you saw people cashing out, and it started to build into the story. That's when Dogecoin starts to get up really into Forbes magazine. That's when you start to get into Wall Street Journal. That's when you start really making a name for yourself. Not this pricing event, which completely had no kind of solid foundation and worked into, I mean, I think it worked into a scenario where literally some people held on to it forever, and then that's what you want from a protection standpoint as well. You know, the people who held on from the dollar and the huge, massive just collapse of it, they lost everything. And people were in a position where they had $250,000 and they went down to having $800. Something drastic like that could happen. So what I'm saying, not that it would happen, but particularly you should be very encouraged by what's going on right now. So while it seems like you're going through something negative, guys, I think it's extraordinarily positive. So I couldn't speak about it any better than that. And yeah, that's about it. If you guys have anything to say, I would appreciate if you would go ahead and just hit me a thumb up, just because we don't get a lot of those from you guys. That would be awesome if you give me a thumb up and just kind of a like there. And what do we got? If you could also, I would appreciate also if you guys could go ahead and let's see. I have a Discord. I haven't put the. I guess they may have put the link in the bottom. I can go ahead and pin that to the top if you'd like, or you can ask for it in the comment section if you're interested. If you could let me know where you're from, I would appreciate that. If you could go into the chat, just go into the chat and type in for me where you guys are from. That will let us chronologue exactly kind of where this audience is from. If you're from the U.S., we have a very international audience. They like learning about technical analysis. They're interested in trading these different moves, kind of on a daily basis and a weekly basis, etc. I know it's a big Doge crowd in here. That's phenomenal. You guys are having a great day. And when I talk about this, I hope this provides you guys some insight from a technical standpoint as to why this retracement was very positive, because it may not have felt very positive. Those of you who experienced a loss in your portfolio or in the value of your holdings, that may be a circumstance where you want that explained. Now I feel like you have an explanation for that. So yeah, if you just continue to subscribe to us, and we would be happy to continue to bring you what we can bring you. And I guess that is about it. I'm seeing all these great places from Denmark to LA to Miami to all over to Mexico. You guys are fantastic. You guys look at the chat right now, because this is the Dogecoin community from Texas to California to Canada. Fantastic. And you guys got Portland, Columbus. You got Cubano. What's up? This is your Dogecoin community, and it's a nice. Guys, this is the part of the community that understands technical analysis and that wants to get involved with understanding the pricing dynamics. And you're going to understand these retracements at a more sophisticated level than anybody else probably in the community. What we just had in terms of the discussion that we just had, this is a beautiful way to understand what is going on with your investment. And I hope you guys can spread that through the rest of the community. And yeah, as we continue to see the fantastic places that you guys are from Germany, from Texas, from hot Atlanta on down. What I'll tell you is, guys, you can tune in at any point in time, and just make sure you don't be a stranger. And I always tell people, in terms of investments, the best advice I can give, because I used to own a private hedge fund. In terms of investments, what I'll encourage you guys to do is always invest in the things, make sure you invest in the things like the relationships and those other kind of issues in life that you thought were really important before you got obsessed with investing or really got it full-time with investing. Always invest in those personal relationships, etc. And make sure that's kind of one of your priorities, because that will change your life. You can stay busy in your life with investing. Those relationships will change your life. So I hope we have been a part of that journey this evening, and we appreciate your subscriptions, notifications. We'll bring you more on Dogecoin and hopefully on Harmony One. You guys check out Harmony One. It's about to explode at some point. A lot of people putting big money into it, and we'll kind of support you guys as you support us, and we look forward to additional interactions. So that is it. My name is London, and this is the Crypto Kingdom. You guys check us out on YouTube, and we also, let me tell you guys one thing more. Hold on. We have a cool Twitter. You guys will like this, okay? You need to go to Twitter. Now go to Twitter, and in the search box, type in The Kingdom, okay? You're going to have to go to the search box, and type in the kingdom, Kingdom, the kingdom. Very easy. Then scroll to the bottom of that, okay? You type in the kingdom, you'll have to scroll to the bottom after you type it in the search bar, and then I need you guys to click on go to the kingdom. That'll be at the bottom of that menu. It says go to the kingdom. Go ahead and click on follow, all right? Click on follow, okay? And we will be bringing news and targets and price updates, etc., how to best trade, what to best do. Go ahead and sign up on that Twitter because we're probably the most accurate. I'll tell you, we are the most accurate in terms of pricing projections and technical analysis that you're going to find. It's just that particularly with, you saw it tonight with the Fibonacci's. This is run of the mill. It's what we do every day. You saw that we missed. We didn't actually miss at all. The 3 o'clock departure from the triangulation, that was exactly the moment in time it was supposed to happen. So that's a level of accuracy that we can bring you on a consistent basis. Join us at the Crypto Kingdom on Twitter, and we will stay in touch with you. And we appreciate your support for Harmony One. Okay, we're also interested in Bitcoin a little bit in BNB, a little bit, of course, in Harmony One. But just feel good coins. I mean, these are good time coins with good time people, and that's all we want. That's it. So, and we love all your communities. We love your passion, and thank you for spending some of that community passion on us this evening.